Okay, we are here to do the advanced version of the Dinah melody. So you'll need in front of you, either on your screen or a printed copy of the advanced version of the Dinah melody chart. You can find that on one of the links below. You also may want to go over the set of notes we're going to use. So we'll do that first. We're only going to use strings 1, 2, and 3 for this, and I do call this advanced just because it is in the 7th position, meaning first finger on the 7th fret. It also does use all 4 fingers, and there are other advanced ways to do this. There are more advanced ways to do this. This is just a way that you can do this kind of up the neck, keep away from the open strings, keep all the notes sounding kind of the same. You know, sometimes when you mix open strings and fretted notes, they don't quite ring the same, and this way we don't use any open strings. You're also in that nice little place, you know, in the 7th to the 10th fret where the guitar sounds kind of nice. And you know, if you'll watch videos that are, you know, that come after this, you'll learn a little bit about improvisation, maybe how to add little things to the melody, and I'll show you some examples of that before we finish up this video. But for now, let's just get a handle on what notes we're going to use. So let's start with first finger on the 3rd string, 7th fret. That's a D. And we're going to also use on that string 3rd finger on the 9th fret. So the E there. So it's 7 and 9 on the 3rd string. And then on string 2, we're going to use our 2nd finger on 8, right where it falls between 1st and 3rd finger, for the G, and then 4th finger on 10th fret, which is the A. And then on string 1, we're going to use 1st finger, 7th fret for the B. And later in the song, we'll actually use 2nd finger on the 8th fret for the C. And then little finger, our 4th finger, on the 10th fret. So here's the note set as a whole. So it's 7 and 9 on the 3rd string, 8 and 10 on the 2nd string, and then 7, 8, and 10 on the 1st string. So we're going to run that as an ascending scale first. So let's try that together in time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 9, 8, 10, 7, 8, 10. Now let's do the descending scale. Same thing. Just what we just did, except backwards. So 1st string, 10th fret's where we start. 2, 3, 4. So 10, 8, 7, 10, 9, 7. Now let's try that connected. So we'll start on the 7th fret, 3rd string. When we get to the top, we're just going to turn around and come right back, but we're not going to play the top note twice. We're just going to play that once. So when we play the top note, it both finishes the ascending scale and starts the descending scale. So it'll sound like this: 2, 3, 4, 7, 9, 8, 10, 7, 10, 8, 7, 10, 8, 9, 7. Okay, so let's walk through this kind of slowly this first time. I may call like a rest or call the repeats, that kind of thing. But we'll just kind of get through it together at a fairly reasonable pace and speed it up later. So here we go. So right from the start, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 9, and rest. And 10, 7, and rest. 7, 9, 8, 10 again, and 7 for 2 beats, so rest. 10, 7, 10, 8, 9, 8, 2, 3, 4, and 7, 2, 3, repeat. 2, 3, 4, and rest. 2, 3, 4, and rest. 1, 2, 3, 4, rest. 2, 3, now 2nd ending. 3, now the B section. 7, 8, 7, 7, 8, 7. Same thing. Now we'll walk down to 10, 8, 7, 7, 8, 7, and then wrapping up B, and 10, At that point, you can wrap it up or repeat. You can do the entire thing again and just run that over and over. Typically, we'll play this melody once, and then we'll improvise over the entire form 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 times, as much as you feel like it's comfortable. And then you'll wrap up the tune by playing this melody one last time. We're going to try it a little faster now, and then we'll talk about some different things you can do. So let's try it about this pace. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and 7, 9. 2, 3, 4, rest. 1, 2, 3, and first ending, repeat, and 7, 9. Second ending, now the B section. Back to the A section. So yeah, I added a little bit there at the end, as you could probably tell. I was also using vibrato throughout the entire melody, so we'll talk about both of those. So basically, when you're doing a melody like this, one thing you can do on longer notes to make those, at least give those notes the illusion of lasting longer or singing out a little bit, is just to apply a little vibrato. And you'll see a lot of electric guitarists use the up and down vibrato. And a lot of classical guitarists use the side to side. So on a gypsy guitar, it kind of works well to do either one. The strings are light enough to respond to the side to side vibrato, which is just shaking the finger parallel to the fretboard like this. But it also responds well, again, the strings are so light, they just respond to any type of vibrato at all. But the up and down, like you see typically on an electric guitar, that works just as well. So it's really whatever you're comfortable with. And my guideline for that personally is if I'm playing something relatively fast, I tend to move into that electric guitar mode. So I'll play like, and I'll go up and down. If I'm playing a legato melody, something really connected and smooth that's kind of slow, I'll revert back to that classical vibrato. And it's really just personal with me, but whatever you're comfortable with will work. So I'll play the first phrase with no vibrato, and then I'll play the second phrase with, so you can hear the difference. So here's without. Nothing wrong with that, and then we'll add the vibrato this time. See how the notes just kind of have a more vocal quality? It just kind of makes the longer notes sound a little nicer. Now, before we jump into the B section, I'll talk about how you can mess with the rhythm a little bit. So we just did those first two phrases, one without vibrato and one with, so you can hear the difference. And you may have noticed just that last run through, I did a little bit that was kind of out of what's written. It wasn't in the exact rhythm that's on the page. So I'm going to start the B section playing it straight, and then I'm going to mess with the rhythm a little bit, and I'll explain what I mean. So this is what the B section sounds like as written. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest. 2, 3, 4. So that first phrase, it's just very straight. What we do is kind of swing it a little bit, and not like swinging eighth notes, not where you go. It has nothing to do with that type of swing. It just has to do with loosening up a little bit, and instead of playing 1, 2, 3, 4, We might make one of the notes shorter, one of the notes longer, bring two closer together. Just make it sound like almost like we're improvising, but we're still playing the proper notes. So it could sound something like this from the start of the B section again. 2, 3, 4. See how that's a little different? It's not straight, it's not quarter, quarter, half note, just like it's written. But I just kind of interpreted that myself. So we'll talk more about that, but just realize that at times, like just for example, if you miss a note, go ahead and grab that note and move into the next one. Don't worry about, you're a little late on something or you were a little early on something. If you're early, let it ring a little longer. If you're late, you just move a little quicker to the next note and it will kind of work out. You'll end up developing a feel for how to kind of make these notes either connect or disconnect to sound more like what you hear in your head. So, and that's really what I think is going to make the best musician in general, being able to have that in your head and then put that out on the guitar, without having problems transferring. And that's a tough thing to do, but the more you do it, the easier it does get. So let's check out an example of that. So let's finish up the tune. We'll do that last A section, and what I'll do is I'll bring a few notes in too late and move forward with those and make them happen anyway. And I'll start a little bit early on some notes, and we'll just kind of get a feel for how this could happen. There's no right or wrong way. It's really how you hear it. So feel free to experiment and feel free to ask questions. I'll be happy to help because there are some guidelines that can help, but just no rules. So this is what it could sound like. The last A section, which will be the last two lines of the chart that you're looking at. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like that. So, I've just kind of interpreted the melody myself, and I'll do that again. I'll run through the entire thing a little quicker, and I'll just mess with it a little bit so you can hear what it could become later on. So here we are right from the top, all repeats. A, A, B, A will be the form. So the first ending is the first A section. When you repeat and play through the second ending, that's the second A section. And then lines 3 and 4 are the B section, and then lines 5 and 6 are return to the A section. That's why we call that A, B, A, which is a pretty standard form for this kind of tune. So about this fast, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that. So hope you enjoyed this little run through on the advanced melody for Dinah. Make sure to check out all the other videos related to this tune, and also some of the other gypsy videos, as well as if you're interested in other styles, there's plenty more to choose from. So thanks for watching, and see you again soon.